True story. I posted a painting, worked on it for, I don't know, a month, long time. Worked really hard on this painting, blood, sweat, tears, all the things. Posted it, 3 likes. And 2 of them were from my mom. Then I posted a cat meme, just a random cat meme. It was funny. I laughed at it for about 5 seconds. 50 likes, laughing emojis, comments, all the things. So I just thought I would sit back here and think about my artistic life. Let me get back to this one. I want to talk today about why this hits so hard. And it all comes back to this painfully true, brilliant little book I read called Art and Fear by David Bayles and Ted Orland. It's not a how-to book. It's a why-to book. Why keep making? Why keep showing up? Why keep pushing through? Even when you're not even sure if you're good at it. Key idea number 1, fear is normal. One of the first points that the authors make is that fear is normal. They explain that fears about art making usually fall into 2 different families. Fear about yourself and fear about how others will receive your work. So if you've ever thought, who am I to do this? No one's going to care. Congratulations. You're an artist. This really struck me because I used to think that fear meant I was failing. But the authors point out that fear is a sign that you're doing something meaningful, something uncertain, something alive. Key idea number 2. The real work is making art anyway. The book reminds us art isn't about waiting until you're fearless. They describe that art means working in the face of uncertainty, living with doubt and contradiction, making something even when no one may care or reward you. In other words, you have to create with the fear sitting right next to you. They even share a story about how perfectionism kills progress, how the best way to make good work is to make a lot of work. That really freed me from the idea that every single piece needs to be perfect. Key idea number 3. Most of your work will be ordinary, and that's okay. One of the humbling and freeing points that they make is that the function of the overwhelming majority of your work is simply to teach you how to make the small fraction of your work that soars. That means that the ordinary pieces, the forgotten pieces, the ones that are collecting dust, they were just a part of the path. That really helped me reframe how I look at my own work. Every unfinished canvas, every scrapped project, they're just stepping stones. They're not failures. Key idea number 4. You can't control how people respond. This is where things really hit hard. The authors write that the job is to learn to work on your work, not on the people that are viewing your work, not even on the market. That landed like a brick on my chest. I think of how much time that I have spent and wasted worrying about whether people will like it, wanting the likes, the comments, the sales. But Art and Fear reminds us that's not your job. Your job is to work. This made me think of that one tough manager at work. You know, the one that everyone complains about. Too strict, impossible to please. But behind the scenes, they're the backbone of the company. Most people don't really care about what the manager's family is like or the dreams that they may have. They just want their paycheck and they just want to go home. My job is to hold work steady and keep showing up and let people catch up when they're ready, or maybe never. Because if I spend my energy managing reactions, I lose sight of the work itself. Key idea number 5, art is made by ordinary people. Another point that the authors made, and this gave me a lot of comfort, it's that artists aren't fearless, flawless, or even geniuses. They're just people who just show up. They explain that artists get better by making work, not by making promises, not by thinking or planning, by making. Here's a kicker. Failure isn't a sign that you're not an artist. It's proof that you're actually in the arena. The book emphasizes that persistence, not perfection, is what matters the most. Did you know that Steven Spielberg was rejected 3 times from film school? And then he went on to direct Jaws and Jurassic Park. Emily Dickinson only published 10 poems in her life. The world didn't recognize her genius until after she was gone. And Vincent van Gogh only sold 1 painting while he was alive. Remember when you were little and your mom put that drawing on the fridge? You know, that euphoric, look at what I made moment? That's what we're all chasing. Somewhere along the way, we stopped having someone who loves us putting the work on the fridge. Now we're handing it to our managers, our family, our friends, people who may or may not care. And that's where the fear sneaks in. And I get it. The audience doesn't love us like mom does, but why wouldn't you want to encourage your friends? Why not help someone feel that fridge door joy moment again? Maybe you disagree with them. Maybe you're unsure of them. But isn't that really your own feelings getting in the way? Maybe that's just the artist in me talking. Are you craving that love, that validation? The book says go grab your crayons and go make that thing. Keep working, not waiting on applause or permission. Just do the work. That's how you get free. So remember the painting that I poured my heart into and the meme that got all the love? At first, it feels like whiplash. Like, why bother when the real stuff doesn't get any attention and the silly stuff gets all the attention? But here's where it lands for me. Painting is hard work. The meme is the laugh people grab on the way out the door. The painting is me being the manager, the backbone, the quiet force, the one doing the work, whether anyone's paying attention or not. And sure, maybe it's not as flashy in the moment, but over time, that's the stuff that matters. So yeah, I'll keep posting the memes and I'll keep posting the art, but the work, that's where the heart is. That's where my heart is. And if art and fear taught me anything, it's that showing up again and again, even when I feel invisible, that's the real. That's the me. And hey, maybe someday someone will realize and look back and say, that was my favorite part. Tell me in the comments what's one fear that you've faced in creating, or tell me about a time that you've overcome doubt or failure and it surprised you. And if you want more raw, funny, real art talks, hit that subscribe button and let's keep showing up and showing up for one another.